Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a real quick introduction into a couple of techniques and pieces of software we can use to make some stuff. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to make a simple little placard. I'll show you here. We'll pull up a bigger image. It's going to be something like this or something like this. We're going to be using these on your toolbox to label which one is which. And for example, whether or not, you're taking the intro, the robotics, or the projects course. So you'll be able to put all that piece of information on it. And before we get started on that, what you really need to do is understand how, for example, the laser cutter works. Because these guys are going to be laser cut, right? We're going to use the laser cutter to quickly make these pieces. Okay? And to do that, let's take a look at the software we're going to use. So I'm going to pop myself out. And here you can see I've got a couple of templates that I've made here using two pieces of software. What I want to sort of show you or talk about briefly is that the colors of these different lines indicate the intensity of the laser. Okay? So if I want to cut it out completely, you can see that my lines are black, and in which case what I'm doing is I'm setting my laser at a reasonably slow speed and a reasonably high power. All right? And that's going to take it so it cuts it all the way through the wood. But these other colors, this pink, this green, this light cyan color, they're going to be at much higher speeds and much lower power. Because I really don't want to cut all the way through, right? I simply want to etch the wood without cutting through it, okay? And we can set that for any one of a number of conditions. This one, for example, I should have done it again, but we're gonna do it. I set my Escher pattern here way too dark. I should have made that lighter, but we'll play with that. So let's get started with this. Let me pause this briefly, and I'm going to show you two pieces of software we can use. One piece of software, super nice, okay, and I'll probably start with that one. It's going to be Onshape, and we use Onshape for a lot of 3D rendering. And the second one we're going to be using is LibreCAD. LibreCAD is pretty much two-dimensional software, so it really isn't useful as useful, certainly, for making three-dimensional objects. But it does do a lot of cool two-dimensional things that Onshape simply cannot do. So we'll cover both of those. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is break this into 3 small videos. I'm going to end this video. This is the introduction, talking about the projects. And then you can decide whether or not you want to keep it, making something like this is very fast, very easy with Onshape. It's going to be software-based, or web-based, web-based. So you do not need to install anything on your computer. But, the limitations are going to be you can't choose very many fonts. All your fonts available are going to be block-like. There's not going to be any, for example, line tools like this that'll do a font. All right, you can see these are open. A lot of these are open-ended lines. Onshape typically doesn't work it has no purpose really in the two-dimensional world, so everything that it provides you with can be extruded into 3 dimensions, and a single line across really can't be extruded into the 3rd dimension. It's infinitely thin if you think about it. So this one will allow you to do precise single line drawings. This one is going to want to have everything contained within a box. But that being said, you can go so much further with this software than you can with this software insofar as rendering complex engineering projects. So if you're an engineer, maybe you want to do this. If you're a little bit more of an artist, maybe you want to do this. Okay, LibreCAD does require it to be installed on your computer. Onshape, like I said, is web-based. So kind of depends on you. I will show you both pieces of software. Maybe you want to review them both quickly at the beginnings of them first, and then you can decide. They both have a purpose. They're both powerful pieces of software, but very different so far as their capability. So I'm going to end this, and I will see you all again soon.